Let's go. We are back Wednesday. You know, it's Smack Talk time. We are 9 days away from Power Slap number 14 going down in New Orleans. We're 1 week closer than where we were last week. Ding. I mean, we keep up on pumping out that content. We're getting multiple interviews out every day. I mean, the stats are going through the roof. How's it been from your side, man, in your desk?
Bro, it's nuts, man. We're you just said it. We're 9 days away from 14, 12 days removed from 13. It's crazy. It's an insane amount of activity here, and like you said, content's doing really well. Everybody seems to enjoy it. I think that there's been a new tier of reality unlocked here across the board for Power Slap this last event. So definitely exciting time for people, and we got some really cool guests lined up tonight.
100%. Go over the guests that we have ready to go tonight.
So we're kicking the show off with none other than Michael Michelle Brown. She's been gracious, and she's going to give us a little bit of her time, talk to us about some stuff that took place a couple weeks ago, and her thoughts and kind of where she goes from here. We'll also be joined by the former middleweight champion Isaiah Quinones, who was to fight in 9 days at Power Slap 14. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. We heard earlier that he was actually going to be a coach, so he still will be in town. We'll talk to him about that. But his match has been put on the shelf, so we don't know if that'll happen at 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever. So we'll learn a little bit about that. We'll also talk to Pono Pau. He saw the live that the Crazy Hawaiian did a couple weeks ago. Said that he kind of has some things that he wants to talk about involving that whole situation or cadre of situations. Of course, as you know, Pono Pau just had a victory at 13. He's got a real problem with a guy named Wes Mena, who's in the main event of 14. I'm sure that'll come up at some point in time. And then fast forward, we'll be joined by none other than Stunt Marshall, who will take us home, talk to us about that viral knockout, how life has changed, and we'll definitely have a good evening.
100%. I mean, Power Slap number 14 is looking to be one that's going to be a banger. I mean, I keep saying, I just said it on the IG Live before, I think we could foreseeably get to 7 knockouts of these 8 matches. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal to see the talent that is on this, the knockout artists that are on this card is definitely something to behold. As long as we don't get the disqualifications and things that we, did at 13, I think we can get a record-setting number of KOs. I know 7's a big number. I'm probably setting myself up for failure when I say that, but it just, really speaks volume to the talent and the skill that's on this particular card. May not be some of the biggest names in Power Slap, but we definitely are getting a very skillful card for New Orleans, and I'm really excited to see what that crowd is like in New Orleans. The audience is going to be bigger than anything that we've ever seen, from Power Slap in Fontainebleau or from the Apex. They're going to be pushing over 4,000 plus tickets with people in attendance. It looks like tickets are selling quite well, so if you haven't purchased those, definitely go check them out. Later in the show, we are going to be running the giveaway for the 2 front row tickets that we're going to be giving away to next week's event. Ding's got it all up, and we're going to get going with that and do it in real time. But let's get on to our first guest. Michael Michelle Brown has been graciously waiting to join us. Superstar, I would say the next wave of homegrown superstar after Austin Turpin. We get Michael Michelle Brown, who's doing everything right in the social limelight to be able to continue to grow our brand. She's thinking very thoughtfully about our brand and taking, the actions needed, or at least the proper actions and managing her career for the long term. So let's bring her in and talk to her. Michael Michelle Brown, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing really good. Thank you. We appreciate you joining us. And we've seen a revolution of you in your career. We've seen the high. We've seen now you getting a little bit of a setback.
Mm-hmm.
I know your first post on Instagram afterwards, a lot of emotions into it. Are you still feeling those emotions, or has some of that subsided? And are you set on the next obstacle ahead?
I think as a competitor, I'll always be disappointed from a loss of disqualification. I don't think that ever fully goes away, although being a little bit farther away from the actual event, the emotional part of it has subsided a lot. I just kind of want to make sure that I learn from it, not get mad at myself for being upset, because if I wasn't upset, I think that would be worse than being upset. And really just trying to take all of it in and learn from it and move on, because I think, from here, that's really all I can do.
Mm-hmm. What changed for you? Because we didn't see you commit these fouls, the previous time up there in Power Slap.
I took a few risks. The first risk was even accepting the match when I have the rematch with Paige lined up. And I wanted to really come in with something different because, I won my first match against Emily Whitmire, but I didn't, get that knockout that I wanted against Paige. I felt like my performance wasn't bad, even though I did lose that. But I felt like in all of those, that slap power that I just see the guys have wasn't there for me. So I changed everything completely. And leading up to it, like hitting the pad in practice, it was working so well. And I felt like it was my best slap, my hardest slap, the most I've trained. And it didn't carry over on stage well at all. I think it's one of those things that was so good in training, but the actual execution of it, I didn't, execute it great, and it just didn't go at all how I thought it was gonna go.
Mhm. I mean, now there's seemingly a ton of women in Las Vegas that have joined Power Slap.
Mhm.
How do you go back to the drawing board to, come up with a game plan for the next time we see you?
You know, going into it, I know that I did better last time. And last time, what helped me a lot, which always talk about, is how much Pono helped me. So I think this time I thought I had it more figured out and kind of relied a lot on myself and thought working myself was the best. But I'm going to go back to asking for help, getting help from people that have actually done it and actually are doing very well in the sport. Luckily, Pono reached out to me before I could even reach out to him, and I'm definitely going to set some time aside to go down to San Diego and, get some live help from him. And even just the messages back and forth help a lot. And I do have some other like training things set up that I've already been working on. And just kind of go back to my original slap and perfect that instead of trying to change everything completely.
Mhm. I mean, great to hear. One last one for me before I turn you over to Michael. But, looking back and reflecting, did the pressure get to you at all? Because, I mean, you had a lot riding on you. And as you said, you took a risk. In hindsight, do you think it got to you a bit?
You know, um, Going into it, I actually coming off of the last power slap, I had a goal that I was gonna quit my job and start making, a living without having to be a waitress. And I had all these goals. My timeline for it was the month of Power Slap. So I wanted, to reach that goal and to have things set in place by June 1st so I can go into the match completely focused on the match itself. Unfortunately, the timing of everything aligned where the deals I kind of like had going on and, getting a manager all happened the same week as Power Slap. And it was very overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, because, I'm trying to focus on Friday's the big match, Thursday's weigh-ins, do all my media and give Power Slap my best. But at the same time, I'm thinking about all of that and trying to execute that. I was also negotiating like a really big contract. I was, trying to get my manager that I have now. And I think it all happening on the same week was very unfortunate. But at the same time, there was nothing I can do about the timing of it because, you know, that's my job now. Whereas before I was working too. I was just, instead of kind of doing social media and contract negotiations, I was serving tables. So I think, I try not to get too down on myself about where my focus was because there was genuinely nothing I could do about that. And I feel like now it was still the right decision getting all that done because now moving forward and going into the next ones, I have a team and I have a manager to where I can put 100% of my time aside just for Power Slap and, they can deal with all the other stuff. Where this time, my focus was, on both things. Sorry if I got off track. I hope that answered the question.
No, it was great. It was a great answer, actually, Michael. Always good to talk to you. Um, I'm curious to that end. Obviously, we also kind of saw the video you put out. I thought, just being honest, I thought you were kind of a little hard on yourself about that balance. I, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that that thought from you came from a question that I think somebody asked in the post-fight press conference, maybe to Frank.
Yeah, I saw a question to Frank that and I don't even know who asked it or anything, but that I was kind I think it was along the lines of it seemed like I was focused more on social media this time around. And so I think that's what kind of my response was kind of off that, and then a little bit of criticism that I got in comments, which I should know I shouldn't pay attention to because they're always, got something to say in those comments.
Yeah, I mean, so in hindsight, when you unpack that, like, again, impartial observer, I didn't think that that was a fair assumption to draw. I felt like it's like you said, you just replaced a traditional 9 to 5 job with a different version of activity. You just said it was kind of a balance. Like,
Mhm.
what would you say that kind of juggling act was, as far as, was it 60/40, 70/30? Like, how much of your time were you splitting to dedicate to each thing? And do you think in hindsight you actually did maybe pay too much attention to something over the other thing?
Yeah, so I don't think it was so much like paying attention to one thing versus the other. I feel like it was I don't want to say it was 50-50. It was me trying to give 100% of myself to two things. Monday, I didn't have anything with Power Slap that took my attention, but I had my full attention on, I had some press and again, a contract I was negotiation with. Tuesday, media day, I try to give 100% of myself to media day and, Power Slap that day. Wednesday was a little hard because I want to show up and, be a part of the Power Slap culture as well, like be around the other competitors. But I was, juggling that. So I guess, yes, it was about 50-50, but I felt like the best thing in general, Power Slap and myself outside of Power Slap, was to get all that stuff done before Friday so that, again, I can line it all up to next time I can 100% give myself to Power Slap. I think it was the mental thing because being a waitress, it's demanding, but you just clock in and out. When you clock out, I leave the restaurant, I'm not thinking about it. This is kind of like, even if I'm not necessarily working, it's so new to me that it's always on my mind. And then, Power Slap is also always on my mind. So it's just something I need to balance, I guess, learn how to balance mentally.
Yeah, so obviously you had an opportunity to sort of um, get your thoughts together and process your emotions and then put out that video. But on stage, I think we saw a really raw emotional moment where you were kind of processing what just happened. And I think we could all kind of feel your disappointment. And it's not something that we see often in the sport. I'm sure people who in comments somewhere will say mean things about it, but I thought it was a moment that we kind of were able to understand, like, how much you really truly sort of bared on your shoulders and that burden for you to go up there and kind of live up to what you felt like might have been the pressure. Can you talk us through that emotional challenge, what that was like, why you felt like that emotional experience came out that way?
Yeah, so like you said, I care so much and I want to do good so bad that it was one thing to lose against Paige, but in the moment of that loss, it's like, what, I did my best. I still think had a really great performance, but then to get the disqualification, it was kind of almost felt worse because it was like, wow. First of all, I feel like I really try to pave the way for the newer girls, and then disqualification from two fouls in a row when I've never even fouled before. It just threw me off. I was expecting a lot of things, I mean, I always know there's a possibility I could get knocked out. I know, there's a possibility I can lose. And, even though I try not to think about those things too much, I still, think about them a little bit like, oh, how would I react? But I never expected to have a disqualification. So it was something I never ran through. So me crying on stage was just, I was so sad. I was so sad I lost, honestly. And then I remember I was standing there and I looked out and I was trying. They weren't gonna come out. The tears weren't gonna come out. And I looked and Dana was sitting there and he kind of went like that while we made eye contact, and then I couldn't help it. They just came out, and it was just, I think all the emotion just came out at once, and unfortunately was on stage in front of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not something we saw, but I think we all kind of understood how much that moment meant to you and how let down you were. I think it made sense, kind of everything that you put on yourself. And then again, like we talked about before you went up there on this show, like you kind of were taking a massive risk, and you knew that. And listen, kudos to you for taking it. I'm sure Ellie, also she's in the comments here echoing the same sentiment. Where do we go from here? I mean, obviously, I think the plans with Paige are probably on hold. I don't know that they're, unattainable at this point in time. Something could happen before she returns where you could kind of get yourself back up there. But what do you foresee as kind of the way that you get back to whatever the optimal picture is for you to get back to that flyweight championship whenever it does show up?
I'm still the same girl, so I'm game. I want, anybody that they'll give me, I'm ready to take risks. This risk didn't pan out the way I wanted to, but beforehand, every risk I've taken is done really well. I'm gonna learn from it, and I'm basically just gonna keep working, and I'm gonna be ready. And as soon as, because I don't know when the next one is, even after this. Just in general, like when the next power slap is or what. But Frank knows, Erica knows. If they call me, hey Mikey, I'm in there. Like I want the smoke, so I'm not scared. I know what I did wrong, and I'm definitely gonna come back stronger.
Well, it is public. Power Slap 15 will be in Las Vegas October 3rd. So if you didn't know that,
Okay.
you now know that.
No, I know.
I'm sure you did
Well,
know that, but you probably,
I did
I
kind of
got
know
you.
that, but I was like, I
Yes.
didn't want to out it.
Yeah. No, I get it. We're under the same sound of umbrella here,
Yeah.
but that's public. So yeah, October 3rd, Power Slap 15. I'm sure that, like you said, you get a call, you'll be game. Last question for me before we let you go. Again, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. We value your perspective, and of course for you kind of being willing to be vulnerable here and chat with us for a few. Do you think, in hindsight, you talk about the knockout a lot, and obviously we've seen your power in the past and outside of slap. Do you feel like maybe you're having a tougher time balancing how much effort you have to put towards the knockout and sort of forsaking the technique, and that might have something to do with the disqualification, being that you really want that knockout so badly because it hasn't happened for anybody in that division?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just like you said, because I think some people have knockout power and some people don't. No matter what the technique is, maybe not so much in slap, but just in general. And I know for a fact I have the power. So I think it just kills me so much that I haven't gotten it in slap because I know it's possible. And now that you put it that way, I think I do put a lot of pressure on the knockout to where I just want that so bad that that's kind of, I'm thinking about that more than the technique, more than, anything else. And because that was the reason why I changed my whole slap, because I was like, you know what? I don't want to just win like I did against Emily. Like I want to get the knockout. So.
Yeah. Sorry, that's weird. Um, yeah, I mean, kudos to you. Again, I think you're somebody that evolves over time. And I think people seeing you publicly sort of handle this the way that you have and with grace, and then coming out here and being vulnerable, I think that gives other people who are going to experience hardship in that way, they're going to have setbacks. It kind of gives them somebody to emulate. Because whether you have pinched yourself and acknowledge this or not, like people look up to you. You are a role model for men, for women, for young, for old. And so I think it's important for this stuff to take place. Some of it does take place in the public. And so you kind of got to narrate that and help commentate what those experiences are. So kudos to you. I'll speak for myself. I admire your courage here, and really appreciate you joining us and talking about it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. You have a home here anytime, and we'll talk to you soon. Maybe we'll see you October 3rd in Las Vegas.
Yes, I'll probably see you guys in New Orleans, so I'll be
Oh,
there.
awesome. Cool. So we'll see you next week. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Michael
When you
Michelle
fly
Brown,
in, are
ladies
you
and
gonna be
gentlemen.
there for Thursday? You can come out to the tailgate party, going down to Dave and Buster's.
Oh, yes. I'm there for all of it.
All right,
I'm
let's go.
excited.
Appreciate it. Take care. We'll
Okay.
see you next
Bye,
week then.
guys. I'll see you. Thank you for
Bye.
having me.
There we go, Ding. We haven't even talked about it. But Power Slap 14 The tailgate party going to go down at Dave and Buster's next Thursday. So fans, strikers, if you are in New Orleans, come on out. It's approximately, really just right across the street from the Smoothie King Arena. It's about, 4 or 5 minute drive away from the venue itself where the event's taking place. This is going to be Thursday night after the weigh-ins, of course, here on Slap News, where you're watching right now on YouTube and on Facebook. We are going to be streaming those weigh-ins and the face-off in the morning. After that's all said and done, we are going to be going to the tailgate party taking place at night. We've got a private room set up. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to have games. We're going to have food. Head Rush is going to be there, as always, sponsoring the entire event coverage that we are doing for you guys this particular week. So please show some love and support for Head Rush, because everything that they are doing allows us to be able to do and give back more and put out the content that we do for you guys. Ding, can we confirm, are we going to have a power cube? Or is that going to have a power cube? Yeah, so the power cube will be there. If you haven't hit the power cube, you don't want to be bummed out like Cole Smith and not able to be there and hit that power cube. So you better show up. Come on, Cole. It can't be that far from you. I mean, New Orleans can't be too far. Kansas, New Orleans. I think it's within a day's drive, don't you? Come on, man.
Bro, that's the most Canadian shit I've ever heard you say. That's wild. We got a couple more fights that need to get announced, man. I'm thinking by the weekend we'll have a picture of all the prelims. Prelims mean pre-recorded. Seems like a lot of the highlights come from there, man. Like, I think the most viral clips from this last event were Stunt Marshall and Peter and Chelsea, and like that, those are undercard matches. Obviously, Allen had a great knockout. Pono had a great knockout. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know if it's the access. Like, there's so many more people in the venue, so it's all over the internet on the live card. Maybe that's why. But I just feel like there's just been every video of Stunt and Dante, like people taking it from official and recreating it or changing it up. It just goes crazy, even for us. Like, Chelsea's getting ready to hit 1 million on our page.
100%.
So pretty wild stuff, man.
Yeah,
and Chelsea just got her nose surgery.
Oh, did she? Okay, I didn't see that.
She did. She just got a nose surgery. She's been posting some updates, so that's awesome. She said it sucks, and I'm gutted for her. That's rough, obviously, but I think like even a fucking huge dude would not have handled that the way she did. So kudos to her, man. Like, she kept it together as best she could, and you could see it. Like, she panicked for a moment. I'm gonna say this, and somebody's probably gonna fucking steal it and do it before I do it. So I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Jay's face when he realized she was like pouring blood was amazing. So when the footage itself comes out, I want you guys to pay attention. As soon as Chelsea gets hit, you can't really see it that good on ours, but he has this moment where he like deliberately swallows and then like panics, like, where do I go? What do I do? Like, he was disgusted.
Yeah, well, I know Chelsea was saying that she like almost gave John a heart attack because she's coming back out with obviously with the cloth on her face and like, looking directly at John, and there's the barricade and security between the two of them. So, first time that John obviously is seeing his wife in that type of order, and I'm sure it was traumatizing for him nonetheless.
Yeah, you saw something that he did that we don't have footage of, but Chelsea's seen the aftermath of that. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing, but it was a pretty real husband moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we decided to lie on. I know we haven't put out the footage, but when that happened, John Dodson jumped up over the barricade, and it was funny because I mean, anyone who's seen John Dodson in person, he's quite a small human being, but the security guard catches him in midair like a little child, as if, no, you're not going, and kind of put him back down on the other side, on the spectator side. And then you see John walking away and he's just cursing the security guy out as he's walking beside Chelsea. Then they get to the end, the back of the barricade, and then John kind of hops over and goes with Chelsea. But it was pretty funny to see. I'm not sure if official caught that part of it. Typically it's not something that they release, but it was pretty funny to see John Dodson get caught in midair like a little human.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I won't lie to you. I looked directly at him as soon as I saw it. I knew that it was broken immediately. I looked at him, and he was like just over the barricade. The camera's in his face. So I don't know how much of this they'll show when the footage comes out. I'll be interested. It's kind of a sensitive situation, so I get it if they choose to not show him. But but he was just like frozen, like I'm stuck. I'm here. I can't go over there. Like they got to get her off stage so I can go with her. And when she came off stage, that's when he tried to do that. Security was not having it. And then I think somebody waved him off and said, "Hey man, let him go." So he walked along the barricade, and then at the walkout, tunnel is where he kind of crossed over and went with her to the back. So that was really, really, really real. I don't know how else to say. It was a very raw moment between a husband and a wife in front of a lot of people, and Chelsea kicked ass and handled it as bad as you could. Bad as in like badass as you could.
For sure. I got a promo pack here, my man. Leaf metal. I know we were giving these away at the Leaf trade night that we did in Las Vegas. I haven't got a chance to open one, so I want to get into it. Let's go. We can enjoy this together. Leaf obviously has supported what we've done here at Slap News the entire time. So these cards themselves are one of one. They're press proofs that get done. They print these before the cards to make sure that they come out, the die lines work, everything looks good. Let's see. Let's do a reveal of what we're going to get. What is it? Can you focus or no? Got to figure out another solution for this. But anyways, we've got a Brandon.
Not focusing, but it looks like Brandon Bordeaux.
We got a Brandon Bordeaux Fire, one of one press proof right there. There we go. Brandon Bordeaux. Cool looking card. Got him at the middleweight champion. I'm going to figure something else when we do these trading cards, man. It's hard to get them in focus here on camera, but very cool. Brandon Bordeaux there in the comments. There's a 101 proof of your Fire insert. So pretty banging card. I didn't even know Bordeaux was a fan of your show. And look at that. He's there in the comments. Can open a card of his. We should have all the strikers cards laid up and just like one by one to see if they're there.
Hilarious. Like roll call.
100%. 100%. Looking like Isaiah Quiones is going to be unable to attend with us tonight. So the show must go on as always. So we're going to get into it. We're going to go from the middleweight division up to the heavyweight division. Dang, I'll let you introduce this guy.
All right. Well, in front of the millions. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, like I said, we talked about earlier, we teased it. So at this point, 12 days ago, he got his redemption, took care of a match that he was on the wrong side of the first time out. He did what he said he was going to do, had virtually the easiest night at the office you could have, right? Didn't have to absorb anything, but he did have to dish 2 strikes. So that's not, I guess, so easy because you got to swing twice, but he gets the job done. He is one of the pioneers in this lean on one technique. I say one of because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm not including them. I'm not saying he invented it, so he's part of it. He is.
I think he'll tell you otherwise. He'll tell you otherwise. Don't worry about that.
Let's hear it.
Come on, man.
Are you the inventor? Are you the lean on one guy, or did somebody?
I mean, you got other people that have been, perfecting the craft and doing the right on one, just like Blackburn, and it's just the lean is just something that we've implemented, me and my brother, in our technique to be able to justify where the power comes from. So, I mean, you can call me a creator, you can call me an innovator, whatever you need.
Welcome to Smack Talk, my brother.
Yes, sir.
You're not
it's good to be here.
Thank you for joining us. I will reserve my questions for after you tell us your thoughts, comments, additions, subtractions to what somebody you're pretty close to, the Crazy Hawaiian, said on July 4th this past Friday in his Smack Talk special with Corey. He mentioned you a few different times related to a few different things. I think the biggest was obviously your connection with Wes Mena and the issues you guys have. So please, the floor is yours. Tell us kind of what your thoughts were on that and what you'd like to add or subtract from what he said.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want to start off by just giving out my appreciation to everybody. Full Scope Management as a team, everybody that's part of the team, Isaiah being a coach. I mean, it was a very good night. Power Slap 13 was a solid night for me. Be able to get my redemption against James Seekman. And, it's an amazing thing to see, like, all of us come together as a family and be able to represent that in the right way. So, just big shout outs and love to everybody. a bigger shout out is to Sin. Man, this guy, I know he had his time to speak with you guys on Slap News and share his thoughts on a lot of things. And I mean, he's an innovator in himself with everything that he's doing with the entertainment and bringing all the wrestlers into to the sport and be able to create a different aspect, something to look at now, and a lot of things happening. And he inspired a lot of what happened on that stage, Power Slap 13 with James Seekman. Just having good conversations with him. So all love to Sin. He's a solid dude, and I like the way he runs his business, how he does everything, and just trying to give back to everybody. So I mean, he's the father of the wrestlers, so, and a good guy, solid person. So just want to jump back, man, thank you. Thank you for all the words. Thank you for the kind talk, and it's like I was able to connect with him on a different level, and I appreciate that he sees something different in me, that I can bring something to the table different from what's been happening, or what, all whatever Power Slapper's been bringing to the table from before till now. You say it's like pioneering a certain craft, but I feel like everybody has the opportunity to pioneer themselves into this sport and be something different. And I love to see more entertainment out there from everybody. So, just kudos to everybody. Kudos to everybody showing up and being able to perform. And, hopefully we continue to keep the ball rolling and roll it all out. But anyway, go into it, right? I'll stick with this. Crazy Hawaiian is going to be my family through and through. It just is what it is. It's hard for me to step away from blood like that and be like, hey, you know what? Certain things were said, certain things were done. I got to stick with them all the way, because my loyalty was always there. Before we even getting into this, industry, the conversations was with Crazy, was with the Hawaiian Hitman, and me and my brother sat down and had good conversations with them and figured out a way how to get on board with this and get on the ball. So can't take anything away from him. A lot of things were said on the last talk, and I just call it for what it is, man. Wes has this issue with opening his fucking mouth too much times, and he wants to go back and tell Crazy, hey, Pono's leaking out sauce. He's giving out everybody's secret sauce about how this is. Hey, did you watch the fucking tapes? Get your sauce from that. It is what it is. I come out with that, the lean on one. It's a technique that, me and my brother was perfecting and practicing already. And we knew that we were going to implement that into this. And, the real sauce that I've ever taken from Crazy is just the basic stuff that he's been telling everybody. At the end of the day, he said it best. Me and him are Mr. Aloha. We love to put our love into everybody, see everybody grow and see the sport grow for what it is. So at the end of the day, that's fun. We just try to pour love into every single person. Sometimes you get the bite back, right? And with Wes, that's how it is. He's going out there and telling Crazy Hawaiian, hey man, this guy's giving out sauce. He's leaking all these things out, and he wants to be a selfish little motherfucker. He wants to keep all to himself. And it's like, you gotta share the wealth, brother. You gotta show everybody what it is. It's like, and if not showing them, they're gonna see it for their own selves. They're gonna watch tapes. They're gonna watch the feedback. They're gonna watch how things look out there on the stage, and they just take little tidbits of what there is and incorporate it into their style and technique and the way that they operate out there, whether it be offensively, whether it be defensively. So I just want to touch base on that. Is like, the stealing the sauce thing and giving it to everybody else, bullshit, straight bullshit. That's something that me and Crazy already have a relationship, and it's never gonna stop for some dumb idiot like this, or for whatever it is. And I hope he understands that and watches this video, because I know he's gonna watch this shit. Is that you gotta understand, Wes? Blood is thicker than water, bro. So we always gonna stick together. Hawaiians always gonna stick together. And if you want to incorporate yourself and trying to be Hawaiian with all the rest of the Hawaiians, too fucking bad, bro. You're not Hawaiian, bro. Get the fuck out of here. It's bullshit. That's just not the way it works. And speaking on a lot of things, and another one is the whole weight loss thing. I love Crazy, and he's going on his mission to become smaller and compete in a different weight class, and yeah, that's good. That's gravy. But at the end of the day, dude, I put it all on Wes, because obviously Crazy stated that Wes showed him the light, showed him what he could be, showed that it was easy to do the surgery and get down to a certain weight, because he's done it before. You know, and that to me, it put his title at jeopardy, because now he's got something different in his mind about how he wants to look, how he wants to operate, how he wants to do all these things. And he, you know, he originally would felt good at 225, 230 pounds. Doesn't feel healthy at 400 something pounds. I love that. I love that he has these aspirations to be able to get down to the weight and do whatever it takes to get to where he needs to be. That's fine. But when you introduce something like that at a prime moment, when the dumpling is his main rivalry, he's got to do work with this guy. The first match didn't work out, you know, like to where he thought he was gonna get it. So you gotta make the return with the second match. But now you get this thought in his head about losing the weight, becoming healthier. I get it, 100%. I get it. But you took it at the right timing, right when Dumpling's about to be on his uprise on the next run, and you stopped Crazy from fucking being who he needed to be, the beast at a super heavyweight division. Mind you, Mana is now the super heavyweight champ, and I love that. I love that it sticks in the family, and everybody's still solid to the core. Mana's now the new super heavyweight champ. But you took away an opportunity from a brother that he could have done good against Dumpling on the second round. He could have retired as a super heavyweight champ. You robbed him, introducing some new plan, some new thing for him to do. And you know, and I already talked crazy about it too, is that he already told me. He said, bro, all I wanted was to go back to that weight, to be, you know, in the tip top shape. And then that's what he did. He took full force, and he doesn't regret it. And I don't blame him for it. But I also open up that light for him so that way he can see. Hey man, people jumping in, giving you all these little tidbits and all the other stuff, but you're supposed to run your own game. You know, at this moment, you don't fuck around with nobody else like that, because they don't got the best interest. Now he's in the super. He went from super heavyweight to heavyweight, and it's like now he's in the same class as all of us. And you telling me that, motherfucker, you on the next title match? If once Crazy is up and running and becomes better, and I know already, Damien's not gonna lose that fucking title. He's gonna fucking knock Wes out. He's gonna put Wes to sleep immediately. But now you put him in the same predicament where sooner or later, Wes, you're gonna have to battle Crazy. So how you gonna fucking sit there and fucking do all the stupid shit that you do, knowing that you're gonna have to battle somebody that you call your brother, which he isn't. He's not. He's more my family than he is yours, bro. And that's just the way it works. That's the way it operates. That's enough said on that bullshit. He did what he had to do, and now he's at the weight class that he's at. Skip all past that. But one thing that's for sure is that Wes is a little fucking rat in the fucking back, playing around, pulling strings, telling everybody, you know what? You have to be friends in this fucking sport. You don't have to do all the other stuff. It's probably one of the friendliest fucking sports you're ever gonna fucking see. And now, at this moment, you got the biggest fucking beef ever. Because I don't like fucking two-sided motherfuckers like that fucking around with my family, fucking around with me, and then try to put it on something else. He's mad because I told everybody that that Dorian made him look like a child. Bullshit, motherfucker. Bullshit. I'm mad because I took you on a fucking podcast Monday before Power Slap 12. And then my brother got to come back to me and tell me this motherfucker's talking shit about me behind my back the whole entire time. About me giving away sauce, about me doing this. Me. He just wants it back on his side. He wants all that to himself. He wants to be the next fucking big thing. Everybody's like that, bro. Sooner or later, it gets like that. But when you're real and you're authentic, you don't have to chase it like that. You don't have to be that way. This clown is. So in the end, he's just gonna get what he deserves. Karma comes around big time, motherfucker. Big time. I'll break your shit. That's just it. I have no problem fucking having this beef with you. Ain't no problem. Because I see how you are. I see who you is. You're a snake. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing, brother. And that's just the way it works. Wes is gonna be put down by fucking Damien. And then after that, we're gonna just line his ass up. Little pretty ass little motherfucker. Put him on the street.
So you said a lot there. So I got quite a bit of stuff to unpack. Obviously,
Go
there's no
ahead.
love lost between you and Wes Mena. But with Crazy sort of articulated was that he would like to stay out of this. He would like to remain an impartial party, retain his relationship with you, retain his relationship with Wes. From what you're saying, it sounds like you're saying that that's not possible. Like automatically, he's Hawaiian. It's one side or the other. The reason I'm asking is because I don't want what he said to get mixed up with what you're saying. Can he stay in the middle? Because that's what he said he'd like to do. Is just stay out of it.
Yeah. No, it's cool with me. At the end of the day, I'm not this. My loyalty is with Crazy, and it always has been, and that's just the way it is. If he's gonna be in between, and he, obviously he's taking on West by showing him technique and showing him all these other things, and it's like not even really showing him, but West just begging, just like how he was begging Crazy to come on and do a pod or jump on Slap News, and man, you got to catch my back for everything. Bro, that's a fucking beggar, bro, and that's what it is. He's just begging for fucking technique. He started off with me in the fucking season, right, and seeing how I was being with everybody, being more influential, being try to be inspirational to everybody, and show them exactly how they're supposed to operate and what they're supposed to do, and just trying to let everybody shine. He sees that, takes a bite on it. I didn't text this guy. He messaged me. He reached out to me first. So to answer your question, I'm Crazy has something going on with Wes that he got to continue to keep on pushing. I can't hate him for it. But what it's going to do, it's going to drive me to fucking put this motherfucker down on the ground. No matter what it is. No matter what it is. It's like, I'm always going to be with Crazy because Crazy, he's cool with me. He's always going to stay that way. It's family over everything, bro. Same thing with my brother. Family over everything, bro. At the end of the day, that's my blood. That's my blood. I support him all the way through and through, and he's been able to do such amazing things in this sport coming up to this point. And now I have that match with Darren one more time. It's gonna be good. That's my blood. That's my family. If I call you family, you my family. It ain't gonna change. But this loser, he's fucking going down. That's just what it is. With full focus. Crazy got to go do his own thing, and he's gonna go on his own route and do his stuff, and he stays on his lane and the way he is, and I respect that. But for this loser, I'm putting all full force into this guy. That's it. Like you break the code, bro. You break the code of what it is. Should have stayed to your fucking cause, not burn fucking bridges. It's like can't say nothing more about this guy. It's like he's done. It's just gonna end bad for him for the rest of this fucking ride that he thinks that he's on. He's gonna lose to Damien. They're gonna immediately set up because I've already asked. So that shit's coming. I told Erica I signed on the dotted line. Fucking jerk me off, bro. You bullshit motherfucker. He's like, I talked to them directly. Talk to Frank directly. Well, your fucking name is right on the list, bro. I'm an assassin, and I'm an assassin for a reason. I'm on the list, motherfucker. You're at the top. You hold it. You hold your place. I'm coming. Process is on you. I'm gonna fucking take you out. And everybody's gonna line you up after that. You're going from fucking 4 to fucking just death. Everybody's gonna take you out, bro. You have no chance in this sport. And even if I have to help every single motherfucking heavyweight to smoke your ass, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's what my dedication is. Making sure that this guy ends his career. This is his retirement.
Pono, definitely have a
What's up,
lot to
Corey?
say. I mean, last time we seen you up there, you took that blender of Jane Sequin off your record. Where do I go with this first? I'll go the Dorian Perez route. The only blemish you have on your record now is not taking care of Dorian Perez. If they put his name in front of you, would you sign that contract?
As of right now, probably not. Probably not, Corey. You guys don't know how bad I want fucking Wes. It's just it's full drive, all full force. They even called me up and said, "Hey, bro, you're gonna face fucking Damien. You're gonna get a title shot." Fuck that shit. I'm gonna smoke fucking Wes first. That's my go-to. Dorian can come later on down the line because he's gonna hold up number one because he's got a shot on him. He's strong. He's strong in this division. So he'll be up there. It's all
You
about
think,
time. All about time.
so you think it's inevitable that that's the match you want? You can't see anything else. You're gonna hone in on that. Is
I
that
don't
what
see
you're saying?
anything else. I'm a fucking old man at this moment. I'm painted red, bro. And West is fucking bright red. I'm ready to fucking shoot it down. There's no fucking chance against me. I'm fucking stronger than ever. I'm at the top of my fucking weight. If he's coming at anything less than 266 pounds, I'm fucking breaking his jaw. I'm snapping that thing. I got enough power to fucking line it up. I've been practicing different techniques. See, you guys saw that lean on one. I shot that out. I said, you know what? I'm one on games and try on three. I'm gonna try a different angle. I'm gonna try to do something different than what I always come out to. And you guys see my performance. It's different energy. I have different energy in me right now. And it's only because I want this to be my future. This is my future. I stay right here in this fucking heavyweight division, in this sport. And I'm going to do it as long as I can. And I'm going to show up as long as I can. So that way I can show everybody that anybody can do this stuff. I'm just a fucking normal, regular fucking island boy. Coming straight from the island, straight to the mainland, doing my thing. And it's like, if I can make it, anybody can make it in this stuff. But you got to be obsessed. And right now, my obsession is set. It's set. What is the main focus?
Understood. Oh, did we lose Pono there? Oh, it's too bad. I know we're having some issues there with Pono. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get him back. I want to ask him about James Seekman and the Crazy Hawaiian as well. So if we can get him back, I think that would be great to kind of follow up on that a little bit. Hopefully we can get a better connection.
I'm back in.
Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Awesome. You know, for different reasons, I think two of these guys have some challenges, to face them ahead. But James Seekman to Crazy Hawaiian, do you think we see both of them back in Power Slap, or do you think there's a potential that one or either of them we never see again?
Well, James already has stated that he's going to try his best to put on the weight, put on the poundage, so that way he can get up there. He's going to practice as much as he can to be able to get better at what it is. And it's the same story for both of them, for James and for Crazy. Crazy's going through a lot of stuff with his knee, with the weight loss and everything else, and he's got to regain that muscle, get back on that lean mass on. And it's just right now they're in the same category. They just need to. Just with him having more experience and being a very like a pioneer in the sport, that's the only difference. But right now they just got to be on the build up. They got to put back on the weight. They got to get back to where their prime is. And yeah, if they battle, it sets it straight. They've got a lot of beef, and that's not me to say anything about. But and I have a lot of respect for James. Out of all the other stuff, as much as it's the redemption and this is this and this and this. Nah, man, you know what? I got respect for James because he stayed true. Never had a problem with him at the end of the day. He was always a friend to me, and I judge people for what they are. If you show me that love, you show me that respect, you show me the loyalty, I'm cool with you. I'm good. It's only when you start burning me, start fucking around, start saying some stupid ass shit behind my back, start doing some stuff. That's the only time it's ever gonna take off. And then now the true Islander comes out instead of me being that guy that's really nice. And I said it on my post, man. Don't take my kindness for weakness, bro. I'm a different fucking type of beast. I was a killer before all this fucking camera showed up. I was a killer before. It's like, so now everybody gets to see exactly who I am every single time. But to go back to Crazy and James, would it be a good match? Yeah, because there's rivalry there. There's something happening. They need to build this up. They need to do stuff. And and prayers to both of them that everybody gets back on their health, being their healthiest self, and go out there and be able to compete for it. I feel like that with anybody in the sport. It's like if you start building a rivalry with somebody and there's this type of beef, you guys gotta nurture it to where you guys can get better, so that way you guys can do it. You know what I mean? End of the day, that's what's gonna happen. Is if they keep on pushing.
For sure. Yeah, you went there. I wasn't going to go there, but James versus the Crazy could be an interesting match in the future. But the heavyweights are getting a ton of love on the New Orleans card. Nate Bernard, Aaron Turner.
Yeah, love it.
What do you think of that match?
It's a good opportunity for Aaron to really go out there and showcase his skills. And from whatever he's done with the last match with Wes, it's an opportunity for him to be able to show what he's got. Nate Bernard Did it cut me off?
You're still there.
I'm still there. Okay. Yeah. So Nate Bernard's a unit, you know, and he's not joking around. He's in the gym constantly, daily. He's busting. He's working, and he has the entertainment aspect of it too. So, you know, you're gonna get a good Nate Bernard on this one, and they're tall people. You know, he's not facing somebody that's smaller, shorter, that he has to adjust height downwards. There's nothing. He can literally aim straight across the pipe and be able to hit that target every single time. So, you know, I wish the best to both of them. You know, they're very strong warriors, and I feel like it's going to be a banger match just because they're in the same height range, they're in the same weight. They're both coming in at a heavier weight. You know, they're going to be maxed 260, 255, 260, 265. So you're going to have some hard hitting motherfuckers going out there. And you know, I really want to see Aaron, you know, showcase his skill. Whatever he's been doing on the back burner and training and doing all the other stuff, whatever he's been doing, allow him to be able to perform out there, you know, because we already see what Nate Bernard has. He's going to go out there. I mean, I watched Nate Bernard's clips so many times. It's like I've seen him put some hurting on people. So, and it's going to be good for him, you know, coming off of 3 losses, you know, getting something back in the range. It has to happen. It's a good setup. It's a good setup for a good card.
Absolutely, man. I'm not sure if you've seen Bryce Jones's story today. He definitely had some choice words for Zakir. Zakir posted up a new training footage of the new strike that he's working on. You know, obviously the guys at Power Slap believe in Zakir. They held him at the number 6 ranking even after his disqualification loss. He gets an opportunity to take on Cooper Housley, who we've seen a guy have some success and some setbacks in Power Slap. What do you think? Do you think Zakir can do enough staying in Las Vegas for these 2 weeks before he heads over to New Orleans? Do you think he can put enough work in to truly revolutionize what he's doing?
I mean, 2 weeks in something, he'll be able to change up whatever style of hit that he has, and that you know, very 6 to 12 straight jab, straight to the face, you know, elbow passes the whole entire table. I mean, he can. You know, there's possibility, even just with that short little clip and that little video, he's already opening it up. And
we lost Pono again. All good, Ding. All good. Hopefully you guys could hear that. I know we're having a little bit of technical issues there with Pono Pau, but
everywhere's busy, man. I mean, you got Hawaiian, James, we just talked about. Hawaiian talked about, you know, originally being booked to face Damian DeBell for the belt. So there's just a lot of there's movement, right? Nate Bernard, Aaron Turner, obviously Wes going for the belt this next coming Friday. Then you also look ahead. Obviously, it makes sense. Wes Mena versus Pono Pau. I think when lose or draw here, I think these guys can settle this on stage in a amicable manner. And we got Pono back.
Is that my connection? Your connection,
dude?
Easy, Tiger. This is Slab News, bro.
Twice.
That's your connection.
You guys don't get that. You guys don't get that wrong, right? I'm dying. I'm like, man, we cut off in the main stuff. So, anyways, Zakir, I mean, he's opening up his slap. He's getting better at it, you know, and with 2 weeks of practice, consistent practice, I mean, it'll look a lot better. It won't look like a 6 to 12, and instead he'll be traveling left to right, right to left. You know what I mean? It's gonna get better for him, you know, overall. The house. I mean, so Zakir got the DQ on the last one, so he loses the coin toss. The house gets to go first. We get to see exactly how he's going to hit him, the way he's going to approach this, and it could be make or break right there. As soon as he delivers that first hit, we'll see how Zakir takes it. We already that he has a lot of power. He's coming in from doing all these feats of strength, and it hasn't stopped yet. And he's been doing his thing. But I mean, overall, I don't agree with that style of the way it's coming in. But if he can change it up in this amount of time and be able to go out and perform for the team, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be something good for both of them. You know what I mean? It's a builder. And Cooper, you know, he needs this. He's come out there, this redemption. The last time he fought was against me, and he needs to get some kind of light back. Get that light shine back on him.
Awesome, Pono. I appreciate you joining me, my man. I'm sorry we're having still some connective issues, but yeah, we'll see you there next week in New Orleans. All right.
For sure. Sounds good, brother.
Awesome. All right. Take care. All right, Ding. Cut up with Pono Pau. Great guest as always to have on. I mean, the heavyweights. Have we teased the undercard? I don't think we have yet, have we?
Just a couple.
Okay.
James Warrior, Darius the
Hey, there we
Destroyer.
go. There we go. There's two guys. You know what? Two OG guys who've been around since day one. Two guys, you know, even though they're, you know, at the bottom of the rank, James, I believe, is not even ranked in the heavyweight division right now.
Yeah, none of them are now.
Darius isn't either. So interesting.
I swapped out for Bryce Jones.
It's a very interesting match to have. I mean, you know, if you're thinking about putting match in the heavyweight division, you wouldn't expect either of these guys, but putting them together on the undercard, you know, almost seeming like a make or break. I think the winner of this card, you know, has a second life, and I think the loser, unfortunately, is probably getting their pink slip come, you know, Tuesday morning. I think it's fairly safe to say. As this division,
slip. That's an interesting way to put that.
Well, what do you guys call it in the U.S.?
I mean, a release. It's not
Yeah.
pink.
No, pink slip. Like when you race cars.
Yeah. That's how you own the car.
Yeah. Well, you have to give it away, so you lose it. So like you lose your car, you lose your ability to fight in power slap. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, what do you say we do this giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it, Ding. Things everybody's been waiting for to see who's going to be sitting front row at Power Slap number 14. In order to enter, you had to follow us on Slap News. You had to follow Head Rush, and you had to tag 3 of your friends to be able to make it out. I think we've got, what do we got, Ding? 79 confirmed entries. People who actually followed. Was 1 able to read, 2 able to listen, 3 able to articulately tag 3 of their friends.
All right, can you see this?
Yeah, I think we're good to go, my man.
All right, let's do it. Shout out to Wask for letting us do this here. I'm just gonna confirm in real time. Oh no, people jumped in. There's more people. Look at that, 90.
It's a 90.
You guys
Nice.
you guys heeded the warning here. All right, you guys ready? I'm nervous because so here's what I will say though. I mean, we don't want to get crazy in terms and conditions, but we have to confirm because I have the tickets in hand digitally. So I have to confirm that the participants or the quote unquote winner is going to be in New Orleans before I give these tickets. So there is a small possibility that somebody participated that can't make it or didn't have plans to go or whatever the case is. And there's still an opportunity for us to give these tickets to somebody else. So if you don't win, it's not necessarily done yet. We will do it again if we need to, if the people, 1, didn't follow Head Rush and don't follow us. And then 2, they're not going to be in New Orleans anyway. So just keep that in mind. With that, I'm pretty nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. Are you ready, Corey?
I'm ready, my man.
Once I hit this, that's it. Somebody's destiny's getting changed, man. 2 front row tickets.
I'm just hope you've never done this before. I hope you've never done this before on this website. That's all I'm going to say. Because you do know they only give you 1 free chance.
I have not. I'm not.
All right. Who is it? Who is it?
Alex! That's Nate's guy.
Oh, really? Nice. Nice.
Bro, is he really going? Bro, where's Nate Bernard at? That's his guy. And Nate is.
We talking Alex from Houston?
I don't know if he's from Houston.
From Texas?
I don't know if he's from Houston. No, he used to buy a bunch of cards from us because he wanted to get Nate's.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations to Alex. You just won 2 free tickets to Power Slap number 14. Congratulations for a row, my man. Free of charge.
Nice.
I know he follows us because we're part of it. So let me just confirm he follows Head Rush.
Nice. Love it. You know, I think as always, Ding, we have to bring value to a lot of people. You know, and I think whether you're watching us here or you're watching us, even as part of, you know, when we go whatnot and we break the cards, I mean, we're, you know, a lot of times we're gifting people spots. You know, we have other people gifting spots as well. We run a ton of giveaways on these shows. So if you do ever see the shows come up in our story on Instagram, whatever, you know, sign up for whatnot. We even have a promo code there that can get you, you know, an extra little gift when you sign up. If you can put that promo code into whatnot and come in, like I said, give away free stuff, man. We try to do a lot of really cool stuff, different giveaways, even like the Leaf Power Slap trading card night. I mean, we're opening boxes, giving away cards. You know, Don Jacobs ended up getting of 15, I believe, signed Dana White gave away to him, and we gave away a lot of different cards that night. So, we're always trying to, do some fun things. And if you're in New Orleans next Thursday, the Power Slap tailgate party is going down from Dave and Buster. We're going to have free food. We're going to have the Power Cube. We're going to have some giveaways, some shenanigans. And as I alluded to before, Head Rush is going to be there on site as well. And they're always super, super generous to everybody who takes part. Last time at the tailgate party in New Orleans, we had beach balls. We're giving away towels, giving away some slides, T-shirts. I think there's even some hats going around after that event. I interviewed someone today who had him grabbing a Power Slap hat from tailgate parties. So lots of good stuff going around and trying to bring you guys more intriguing value. Thing, were you able to confirm that?
I was able to confirm. I just need to get in touch with him so I can let him know that he won.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
You never know. Maybe he only needs one ticket. He doesn't have a +1, and maybe we can give out the second ticket. I don't know. I'm not promising you anything, but I'd like to, if we can, make this cool and be able to give it to people who are going to be there and want to have it, and it's exciting. For sure. Let's
play devil's advocate here a little bit, my man. I want you, let's get into it. We have two guys right now with 5-0 records. I'm just going to pose the question out there, and then we'll get there. We got Damien DeBell, and we got Robert Trujillo. Obviously, Damien DeBell's got experience outside of Power Slap. Both these guys 5-0 records, which I believe to be, and I'm sure someone will tell me if I'm not, but it's the longest winning streak, in Power Slap right now. Pick one of the two guys, just randomly, Robert or DeBell. Robert. All right, so then we're going to start out with the 155 division. Paint the picture for me as to how Robert is victorious come next Friday.
Well, if you look at that first match, I think nobody's figured out how to get to him yet. And I think that's the part that's the code to crack. It's not about who you are, how strong you are. It's about what will phase him, because nothing has to this point. We've seen what Dakota McGregor has done to other guys, and to look again across the podium and see somebody who's smiling at you after you've just given them all you have, I can't imagine that doesn't mess with your head as a male, as somebody who's done those things to people before, where you've had these people just unconscious, not TKO, like straight knockout victories, right? I think that was the first time, right, where Austin Turpin as the coach yelled, "Oh, a headbanger," right, with Ivan Hernandez as he hits the podium. Like, I just think that's so deflating, and it's still only been 4 months. From what we know behind the scenes, there was an effort to try to get this match to Riley Montoya. For whatever reason, he declined. So then it became Dakota McGregor again. I just don't know that there's been enough time for him, and the amount of time that he's known about this also. Like, I'm sure in his head he didn't have it on his bingo card, I'm going to fight this guy again right back to back. And so I just think like getting to somebody who's never been gotten to before is extremely, extremely difficult hurdle to overcome.
I hear you.
But not that he can't do it. That's the beauty of the sport.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to take up the opposing view on that. Dakota McGregor, a guy that unfortunately wasn't able to get it done, but he did push Robert Trujillo into the championship rounds. I know he was unable to get the business done, and even if it was going to go to the scorecards, probably wouldn't have been in his favor. But Dakota has had one person on his mind ever since. He's had the opportunity to think about it, and he knows that he needs to reinvent what it was that he's done before. He can't go back with the same game plan that he had previously. He has to change the way that he approaches Robert, because he wasn't able to put Robert in any danger the first time that they've been up there. He can't grow an extra arm. He can't really change, the physical attributes that he's there. Can he maybe get 1 or 2% stronger? Sure. If he's hitting the gym incredibly hard and it's all that he's focusing on, yes. But I think from the technical side, he's going to need to be much more strategic. He's going to need to find that button. He's going to need to find the off switch, which nobody's been able to do in Robert Trujillo yet. And I think as this match goes on, I think it leans more in Robert Trujillo's favor. I think for Dakota McGregor, he's got to get in there and he's got to swing for the fences right from the beginning. He's got to try to find that button, and he has to try to dig really deep in his soul to try to find an extra gear that he hasn't before. And, I think Dakota is, not only Canadian, because I know you hate when I say that thing, but you know, he's got another opportunity to try to get the kick of the can. I'm sure he's going to open up as a big underdog on the actual card itself. And, you know, but we'll see. I mean, it's always a fun time when it's Power Slap, and any one strike can change the trajectory. But
hey, you put me on the spot, man. I don't appreciate that.
In which way?
Because it makes it sound like I don't think Dakota can win. But you just told me to sell Dakota. So now it looks like I'm biased. But I think Dakota can win just as anybody can. But you just made me sell that. You're going to pay for that.
What do you mean? In which way?
David Busters, July 17th, 6 to 8 p.m. Me and Corey in fucking Mario Kart head to head. That's it. I'm getting my win back. You will pay for this. All right. Anyway, let's get to our next guest, man. Stunt Marshall. I don't think he's ever been on Smack Talk. And I actually am really excited to talk to him, man. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's get into it, my man.
3, 2, 1. Stunt Marshall, ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
Hey,
Man
what's
with the
up,
plan.
guys?
How are you?
Oh, we're chilling, dog. We're chilling. It's been a long couple weeks, man, but we out here. We out here.
Talk to us about those couple of weeks. What's been long?
Got my head rush gear. You know what
there
I'm
you go. Shout out to Head Rush. Taking care of all of us.
Yes, sir. Still waiting on my package. But last couple weeks has been crazy for me, man. Well, I can take you back. It all started like Memorial Day weekend. That was the last time I saw my house until after Power Slap. I was on the road from Memorial Day weekend all the way up to Power Slap. And that week was crazy as well, from the weigh-ins to the stuff we had to do. I don't know if they told y'all this, but Roe Montana, Hollywood, and the Crazy Hawaiian, we all had to take an etiquette class on Wednesday. Like how to eat your supper, how to place things, how to act at a table. That was wild. Most of us did well besides Haley J. I can tell you that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dog.
Are you messing with us?
No, I am not. I don't have her card on me, but it was this nice lady, and they brought us to a fancy restaurant inside of Durango, right down the street from the Apex Center. It's something steakhouse. I can't remember the steakhouse, but literally it was like cameras on us, and this lady is teaching us how to be civil human beings, which is wild because we just slap each other for fun, you know.
What was the Mexican
this
steakhouse?
is like a content piece.
No, it was like a continental
steakhouse,
like a steakhouse. It was right next to a Mexican restaurant inside of Durango. Mm-hmm. It was like right. I think it's like I don't want to say Ken's. That doesn't sound right, but it was a exquisite meal. I probably had the best steak I ever ate in my life, and I cooked steak myself. Best steak I ever had. Like from the seasoning to the texture to the medium rarity of it. It was nice.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anybody take an etiquette class, bro.
Well, yeah, they made 4 of us take it.
But why were they filming it? It had to have been for like content, for maybe satire.
Content for Power Slap.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just seeing how we do on the street. We did pretty well.
Hey, did you pass or fail? Did you wear a beater into the steakhouse?
Bro, dude. So they told me we were going to a fancy steakhouse, and I was like, I can't wear a crop top, but I can wear short shorts. See, I have these pair of like 5-inch seam short shorts. They're dress short shorts. So like, I had that with a tucked in, not a polo, but a button up short sleeve that fit well. Didn't have a hat on. Had my hair out. We were out there, man. And Crazy Hawaiian, he showed up in like gear. Like he had the Power Slap shirt on, some shorts. Roe, he had on a fancy polo, and Haley J just showed up like Haley J. Can't blame her for that. She's real. She's a real one.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. What's life been like, man? I mean, you've been one of the most viral sensations going around the last week here. You've been breaking the internet. Breaking
it. Life has been crazy, man. I did another podcast, and he asked me the same thing. I said it was like a bolt of lightning straight up your ass because you're just going. And, like, you don't know when it's going to stop, but I'm enjoying the ride. I'm having fun. But, like, the week after, like, all right, so I flew out Saturday morning after the fight, right? I land, the Uber driver was like, hey man, this you? And he shows me the video of me hitting my slab, and I was like, damn, all right. I was like, yeah, that's me. And then he goes on this long story of how he's an entrepreneur, doing this, doing that. I was like, cool. And like he's driving, trying to take a selfie with me. I was like, hey man, we can take one at the airport. Just don't kill me, dog. Just don't kill me. So we get to the airport, we take a selfie, and then on the way to my terminal, people are like, this you? And deep down inside, I want to be like, how many other people do you know that walk around like this? How many? And they were like, well, just polite to ask. I was like, yeah, dog, that's me. Like, if you want a picture, get a picture, but whatever. And the same thing when I got to Atlanta. I was like, dang, overnight sensation. It made me feel crazy because, like, I've been wrestling for 14 years, and sometimes I get recognized. This right here made it all the time. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good, man. Did anybody from the Savannah Bananas team reach out to you and be like, oh, we didn't know we had this cat working for us?
Brother, so my job title for the Bananas is Party Crasher, and it's me and another guy. He tried to show everyone, but everybody was like, I already seen the video. Whatever. I was like, damn, all right, cool. And then the last week, or not last, the week of Power Slap, we were supposed to be in Louisville. At least I was. And we had a 3-game header there. There was a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday, during the halfway mark, they showed the Power Slap with our Drake Told commentary, which was crazy. Crazy as hell. And then I didn't get to see him until a week later. We went to Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, and I tried to dap everybody up, and they're just like, hey, man, chill out, dog. Put that hand down. And a couple of the boys were like, hey, you trying to make some TikToks? You want to make some videos? Which was cool. But everybody there was really supportive of it, and they really liked it. We did have every game we do a weigh-in. It's like between like the two most popular players, but they were going to have me do the weigh-in this week. But someone from the heads were like, hey man, we can't be slapping people on our show. I was like, there wasn't going to be a slap. It was going to be 1, 2, and then we break out into a TikTok dance. But they were like, yeah, no, it's still slapping, whatever. I was like, okay, you're my boss. I'm just working here.
Maybe they'll change it around. Maybe you'll be the party crasher, but you'll also be the security guard. Maybe they'll play a little thing like you don't want to mess around, or else we're gonna bring this guy over to your section.
True that. They already do that with us because, like, we have a band that travels with us called Party Down, and their lead singers are female, and sometimes people get gropey with her. So, like, we have to like literally stand there and be like, "Well, other guys like, I'll fight you," and I'm just like, "I'll slap the shit out of you." You know what I'm saying?
That's funny, my man. I mean, I'm sure that's been a whirlwind for you the last couple of weeks here.
Very big.
It's only going to keep on, going. Power Slap 14. Do you want to talk about anything about that and what kind of transpired, or you want to kind of just leave that at bay? I'm not sure how much.
We could talk about it. They wanted me back for Power Slap 14, but like I said, I took that week off from the Savannah Bananas, and that's a real good place to be. Like, besides like how well they pay me versus this, but like just seeing like the smiles on people's faces is very rewarding to me. And we were supposed to have this game in May, but there was a lot of tornadoes going on in St. Louis, so they had to reschedule it for this week. So like I said, the powers that be made it happen, and I just couldn't get off because it's the MLB stadium. They need all the cast there because I think it's like 70,000 people each night. So had to help them out there. But we are talking about me being back in October for the event there. So you'll see me soon enough, I'm not out the box yet.
Stunt, what did you get as far as an opponent for this match, for this card, if they were to put you on it, or didn't talk about
I think
that?
it was supposed to be Brandon Rhodes.
So Manny stepped in, theoretically Manny stepped in for your spot.
He did step in, and like I'm surprised they let him because like he took a couple hits during the show, but like Didn't he take? Yeah, he took a couple hits, like at least
He got hit
one.
once.
Yeah, he got hit once, and they let him compete again. But he didn't get knocked down. He got the knockout. So, like, more power to Manny. Manny's doing good work. Before you know it, man, it'd be him and Butcher again.
Yeah, so I wanna go back a couple of months. You and I met back in May at the training camp, and you
Yeah.
shared some stuff with me that this is my fault. Obviously, at the time we weren't able to necessarily make this stuff public. It's now able to be made public, and I will make it public. But I'd like to give you the opportunity. There's a lot of people who don't know your story. They don't know kind of why you have the pigment, the pigmentation stuff. And I personally think that that's astounding, given the experience. Would you share what happened when you were 2 years old?
Oh, when I was 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 2, I was hit by a car, and not like, backed over or anything. Like, I was walking across the street, and I heard a horn. Apparently, that's what they tell me. I turned and looked, and the car hit me head on. And I flew 180 feet down the street, landed on my right side, and it formed a giant bruise in the left side of my brain. And from there, it damaged a lot of things in my cerebellum. So a lot of nerves aren't getting the right receptors going to them. So my left side is bigger than my right side. And on top of that, I do have vitiligo too. So I'm like, man, I'm getting short straws my whole life, man. This is the first time I had a regular straw, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you took that straw and you didn't, you didn't miss the moment. Like,
Did not.
Was that at all as you visualized that debut, all the time that you said? I felt like you were the quieter side compared to Dante. Dante's a more confident guy. I mean, obviously much respect between you guys, being that
Of course.
You've shared the ring before and you knew each other. But he seemed to have all the confidence in the world. Like, was that outcome what you envisioned in any
confidence way? Isn't loud, dog. Confidence isn't loud. Just because I'm not talking shit or saying this and that doesn't mean I'm not confident. Don't get me wrong. I've had, some voices in my head saying you want to do this? Are you sure about this? Do you think you'd be able to take one? But as soon as my foot hit that first step after the ref checked me, tunnel vision. Nothing else mattered. I was like, hey, man, I got first. And if I knock him out, he can't knock me out. And I lined up on 3, and then I hit him. And literally, I hit him. I look at the white powder, and then I turn and look, and he's gone. And then I look over again, and I just see him like Undertaker up. I'm like, oh, shit, I hope he's okay. And at first, you could even see it on my face, that happened. Because I thought we were going to go at least 2 or 3 rounds. I didn't know it was going to be instant. Did not know, because I have all the respect in the world for Dante. I know how explosive this man is. I know how strong this man is. I know how good this man is. And for that to happen, that showed me a lot. I can knock out anybody after this. Because to be honest, I never, knocked out anybody with a palm strike. It's always been a fist or a suplex or a DDT or something like that. There's never been anything to that magnitude. And it didn't look too fast, but I guess people were saying your placement was so perfect. So perfect. And and it's really Izzy that helped me out right before Isaiah. Because I was lining up against Bob, our dummy, going to hit. And he was like, you don't preload your shoulders, so don't measure your palm on his face. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, when you do that, you go to swing, you load your shoulder, you'll club him in the neck or the ear, and there won't be any damage, and you might get called for clubbing. So he told me to take a half step back and just put my fingertips on his face. And that was through the little training camp we had and the training we had up to there, that was the best advice I ever got from anyone. No disrespect to Blackburn, Butcher, or Robbie. That was he was yeah, just take a step back and just use your fingertips. And I was like, okay, cool. And it worked out perfectly. Now, what have you thought about all the,
I mean, not all of them are remixes. I haven't seen anything too crazy like with AI or anything like that, but I've seen people put like text on it, like him
Oh,
and me
yeah.
or her and me. Like, what
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
thought about all of that? Like, I've seen you
Dude,
sharing them, and
dude, I
some
got
of
a
them are big
crazy
pages,
one
man.
earlier today. I hit him, and then it said just do it, and then they cut to him doing the little Pilates position. It was a Nike check. I lost it. I lost it, dog. I was just over here cackling like a hound. I was like, dang. But like, hey, the internet will never lose. You know what I'm saying? The internet always wins. And some of them are funny, some of them aren't, which is fine. People have free range to do what you want because it is the internet. You could shark anything on there. But I'm just I'm just glad it wasn't me. I'm just glad it wasn't me. I could have been that Nike check. Anybody can be that Nike check. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody's gonna have their day, and today that day was my day. So I'm really appreciative of that, and being able to like deliver such a devastating blow, my first slap ever. You know, it's way different from
Absolutely.
slapping a dummy or Bob. It's way different because like I went up and put my hand on his face. I felt his facial hair. I felt his pulse. I was like, man, I gotta knock this fool out. That sucks. But I think it's going to be easier going on from now forward. Oh. Sorry.
There you go. Are you is there any part of you that's disappointed that you didn't get to take your first shot, and that the next time you go up there will be your first time, observing a strike?
Yeah, I feel that. Like the whole week, I was getting slapped with a pad, mitts. I had headgear on, getting slapped barehanded. Training for that, and like I've been doing countless neck bridges, neck exercises, jaw exercise. I focused more on defense on this fight than I did offense, and that really what surprised me, knocking him out the first blow. I'm kind of disappointed because the internet is just saying like, oh, let's see if this dude has a jaw now. Let's see if you can take a hit. Da, 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 da. Like, bro, I've been wrestling for 14 years, so I've been hit a lot. Like people are like, oh, wrestling's fake. A lot of things slip. Like sometimes you can't control where your feet go, and you get a foot in your chin and another one in your forehead. Been knocked out from that stuff, but like never a slap.
How many? I mean, I'm not asking for like a super specific number, but how many followers would you say you've gained over the last?
5K at least. At least that's on one platform. Like I already had like too many Facebook friends, and I just have like it just keeps growing in my Facebook, and my TikTok blew up a little bit, and Twitter's doing okay. I really don't mess. Well, excuse me, X is doing okay. I really don't mess with X ever since old buddy took it over.
So 5,000, is that on what, Instagram?
Yeah, that's Instagram alone. Wow. And my like page in wrestling probably grew at like 1,000, maybe 2,000. But like $5,000 alone, and like it's still growing. Like anytime I open up Instagram, it's like, man, you got 10 followers. Hey, you got 40 followers, depending on how long I leave my phone closed. But just from that, I really wish the Power Slap page would have tagged me in the Ronda Rousey one, because that one has the most views of all of them. And I even asked them to. They just left me on red. I was like,
okay. What a revelation. That's good.
What a rib, dude.
Listen, 5,000 followers overnight, over the course of a week is pretty nuts.
Dude, yeah. And I've been wrestling for 14 years, and people were just like, well, I might follow them.
Yeah, all it took
I'm in the wrong sport,
man.
dog.
No crazy moves. What are your like messages look like, or even people tagging you and stuff?
Dude, anything from death threats to finding a new barber.
Can you are you on your phone right now?
Yeah.
Or you're on your phone? Never mind. All right.
Yes. Do you want me to read some of them to you?
I was gonna say I want you to give you real action. Go through them.
Oh, dude, I can tell you this one guy. I know it's a burner account because he only had 17 followers, and there was no picture. And like, I entertain people.
That's in Bodie. Hey, did you know?
I entertain people, so I'll talk shit back. I'm getting called the F word. My dad's a bum. Your dad's dead. Like, dude, This dude like spent his whole day just like messaging me. I'm literally sitting in my barber chair. Hey, check this out. just texting them back, just be like, all right, whatever. And like even the nasty comments on like the post or anything, I'll clap back. And half the time they don't clap back, but some of them do DM me like, hey man, I'm not just gonna let you slap me. And I was like, but you will be slapped. Like don't get anything twisted, man. Like just because like my opponent has to stand there doesn't mean I have to stand there and take a slap from you. I can move, I can slap you on the move, I can do whatever I want to you. Because I am a physical specimen. And they don't get that. It's just a whole bunch of keyboard warriors just being like, just like when you like comment on a girl's post, like, this is mid. And then everybody will be like, she's a queen. She's so beautiful. And all of them have double chins and acne. So like, I'm good on that.
You got a bonus that night, and it sounded like you didn't even know.
Oh, I didn't.
How does that work?
I still haven't gotten it yet, but I've been having problems with my bank regarding to my winnings. So I've been dealing with that for the past week. Well, 10 days almost now. Because it was the Monday after Power Slap. Everything went through, then it got flagged, and then they were giving me the runaround for a whole week until like I talked to this one lady and she was like, half the time this doesn't work, but just go to your branch, show them this, whatever. And so I still haven't had access to my winnings. So like I'm still dealing with that, but I still don't even know how much my boni is worth. But I just hope they don't send it to the same bank.
Corey, do they say how much the bonus is? I think they do, right?
Usually 10K usually.
10,000?
10K for a bonus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking to Sin, and he was like, it could be 10 to 15, depending, but it's whatever. Like, I just want access to my original 10K. And then if they send me a check for another 10K, I'm going to a different bank because I deposited this one in person, and you know how I dress. They're just looking at me funny the whole time. They say it went through, and then they flagged it. I was like, oh, depositing while black. Great. This is awesome. Yeah, I get that. I get that when I'm driving. I get that when I'm walking, but like not at the bank, dog. Like these are legitimate checks from $1 billion corporation. And I'm the only one out of everybody to get flagged, which was nuts. But I'm the only one that looks like this. So like it's all good. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Well, good stuff, man. It seems like life is headed in the right direction for you. I mean, they were trying to turn you around in 3 weeks. Unfortunately, it looks like that, fell apart. But listen, October 3rd, man, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, back in Vegas,
Marshall.
dog. I can't do the same thing I did last time. I partied too much last time I was there. I regretted it immediately when I had to wrestle that next Sunday. I was like, kill me now. But it was a good time. It's always a good time in Vegas, and I love being around the people. Even the newcomers that I met, they were cool. Everybody's so cool there. And at least right now. I'm not going to say the future, but like right now, everybody's like so opening, so warm. Like you don't get that in wrestling. Wrestling, everybody's out for your spot. And I get it in this sport. They're out for your spot too, but they actually have to beat you versus politic you. You know what I'm saying? So it's really good. It's really nice being there. Like from you all to what's his name, Joe. He was really nice. And then like even the new competitor I met, like I love Alan Klingbeil. He is hilarious. Showed up to the pool party in a Speedo, and I was like, yes, this guy knows it. I had a Speedo, but I didn't put it on because he had his on. I was like, I'll go change.
He did have a Speedo. I can confirm that. We avoided putting footage of that on the internet for everybody else to see. But
waist up, dog. Waist up.
One thing people did not see, and unfortunately I can't find any video of this. If I do find video of it, I will post it. But he actually dumped a bucket of ice on Luke Simons.
Oh yeah. They had a little stare
You
off
remember
too,
that?
didn't they? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Luke.
That was a crazy fight as well.
Alan just came running with a bucket and just poured it all over him.
Ice Bucket Challenge, man. He nominated him. That's his fault. He didn't respond.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, your debut and you have a knockout like that. You know, even people who I can't even think of one that's that crazy. I mean, the AJ Russell one, I thought that was a little gnarly. I don't know if you ever seen that, but AJ Russell won. Russell started like trembling a little bit. That was a little freaky. Besides that, I can't think of another knockout that's like stands out to me that way. You know what I mean? And it sucks that it had to be Dante because he's a great guy.
Yeah, like I said, he's the homie, man, but had to be one of us. Still glad it's not me. But like I said, Dante's a warrior. He's going to come back from this even stronger. Because, like I've known him for years. He does CrossFit. He's very explosive. Taking a slap from him would have been pretty hard, you know. Hopefully he wins the head toss next time, you know. Flip.
Yeah, the third match is the epitome of the coin toss matters.
Yeah, you do. You know, a lot of my friends called me. He's like, you literally had the best scenario. You went first and you didn't have to get slapped. I'm like, yeah, that's the best scenario for anyone. You know what I'm saying? That's the best scenario for anyone. Not just me. It's all of us. Because, like, some matches didn't make it out the first round. But, hey, Power Slap 13 had a lot of bangers, dog. They toe-to-toe, slap, just like Ryan Kinney and Johnny Magna. They were just slapping the hell out of each other for 3 rounds. I'm just like, I'm glad I'm not a heavyweight. I am glad I'm not a heavyweight.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of wrestlers in the crowd in the pre-recordings.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers in the crowd. That's why we had a little bit of noise when we were walking out. Because like I didn't hear him when I walked out, but I did hear him after the slap happened. And if you watched the Ronda Rousey reaction video, the 2 dudes behind Ronda are the guys that brought me in to wrestle Dante in Arkansas. And like they're shocked, and then you can see one of them mouth like, "What the fuck?" And then they're just sitting there with their mouths open. I'm like, yeah, that's the reaction you need, though.
Yeah, I was right behind Julio Montana, Sanders, and I don't remember the other guy's name, but I was sitting right behind them. So we saw Ronda, but I couldn't see her. Her back was to me, so I couldn't see her face.
Oh, she was roasting my ass, dog. She was laughing at me from the get-go. Look at this fool. Haircut, mustache, rat tail. What's wrong with him? And then I slapped him. She was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, that's a hell of a first shot to see in this sport, man. That's the first time she's ever
first
seen
impression.
it, and that's the first impression she got. So congratulations to you, man. All the success is deserved. I agree that Dante will be back and better. Thank you for the time. We appreciate it, for telling a little bit of your story.
Hell yeah, dog.
But October, man, we'll be looking for you.
Oh, I'll be out there, dog. We outside from now on.
All right, Stunt Marshall, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Have
a good night, guys.
Awesome. Stunt Marshall. I mean, can't say overnight success. I mean, 35 years old, worked very, very hard to get himself in this position to take the opportunity. You know, something you said to me off air before, Ding, is you never know where those viral moments come from. And, you know, the ones that can take the opportunity to seize the moment, you know, set themselves up for, you know, many more opportunities to come. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, you know, I'll say, you know, hands down the biggest surprise, you know, of the night, and one that's going to be a good story to watch. It's unfortunate we're not going to see him for Power Slap number 14. You know, obviously he has to do what's best for himself in his career right now. But if he keeps going up there and knocking guys out the way that he did for Dante Smiley, I don't think he'll be working over there at the Savannah Bananas for too long. And he'll climb up those ranks relatively quickly. You know, we didn't get a chance to ask him, but what match would you like to see between Stunt and who next? Could be a good content piece. I mean, I'm sure someone will steal it before we get to it, but who do you think?
That's a good one. Somebody will steal it. Oh, that's tough, man. I mean, honestly, Brendan Rhodes was a fun one. I think Brendan Rhodes is a guy who's ranked. He obviously needs to get back after the performance against the Chief. and Stunt's on his way up. So I think that
Dude,
was a very fair match for him and to get number 9.
the mustache.
But honestly, yeah, I was
The
just gonna say, hold
mustache
on, I'm
versus
going there. I'm
mustache.
going there. Hold
Hey,
on,
okay,
hold on.
okay,
I'm going
okay,
there.
okay. I
Slow
like it. I
down,
like it.
Canada. Slow
I like
down,
it.
Canada.
Sorry, I wanted to
Do
go
what
for
your country
mustache
does
ride.
and
Come on.
shut the fuck up. Hunter Hassenen. Those two on stage together would be very interesting because Hunter is also a showman. Hunter, I remember with the an Angel fight, he gets slapped, the ref's looking at him, and he's like, "What? I'm dancing. I'm dancing. I'm dancing." He starts doing the number. There he is. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks even funner than this now. I was struggling with what word to use there, but funner is the word I'm gonna go with. He's got long Hulk Hogan like hair. He's got. I don't know if Hulk Hogan's the right person. It's not as luscious. Luke had the Hulk Hogan thing down. Hunter's got a little bit thicker hair, but the mustache is down to like fucking here. It's real thick and black. I mean, didn't he shave it though? Weren't we freaking out about that? He did. So now it's not even there. So, but by tomorrow it'll be back because he grows hair like a fucking phenom.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be a fun one. Number 10, Stunt Marshall versus number 10. Give him a chance to bring it to the rankings. Two big characters they got the look going on. Mm-hmm. But I think another one, somebody said it in the comments. I mean, it's a little unfair as far as it does significantly more for Stunt than it does for AJ, but AJ and Stunt would be a fun one too. That's another one. We haven't seen AJ in a long time, and Stunt's on his way up. AJ's kind of got to go somewhere from where he's been because he hasn't. Obviously the last win against Azael, a lot of controversy, and AJ was one of those guys in the early days, and so I think it's fair to figure out, is he still one of those guys or is it time for the new generation, quote unquote? So give Stunt the opportunity to break himself into the number 6 spot in those rankings. It's another good look.
Are you going to give me anybody? You going to leave anybody for me or no? He's going to keep on going through the whole top 10.
No. Yeah, he could take anybody in the top 10 is cool. Yeah. Nah, go ahead, bro. Who do you got?
You know what? This one, just hear me out here because I think this would be one for the purists, but I think it would actually be a phenomenal matchup. And somebody who kind of could maybe match Stunt Marshall's energy on a low-key level. The guy is on a 2-streak losing streak at this particular moment. He has lost to Isaiah Quinones and the Chief, but won Wesley Drain versus Stunt Marshall. I know it's a big take. I know Wesley's been at the top of the division, going up to number 5, but it's not unconceivable. I mean, we've seen 6 in Zakir versus, number 10 in Bryce Jones. We've seen these kind of things before. Brian Ellis, number 6, going against unranked, Aaron Turner. But I think Wesley Drain on 2 losses, and I think Stunt Marshall going up in a lot of ways could make a lot of sense. And it would really solidify Stunt Marshall as a true contender if he'd be able to get through someone like Wesley Drain. I know we talk a lot, different divisions of kind of where that gatekeeper is in division. And I think right now in that middleweight division, I think it's Wesley Drain. I think if you want to be talked about in the top echelon of, the Bordeaux, Quinones, Davis, Godfrey, the Chief, you got to get through Wesley Drain first. And I think he's kind of that gatekeeper that allows you to do so. I think a victory for Stunt Marshall would definitely propel him up in that rank. And I don't think it's an easy one, to say the least. And I think it also, gets a lot of eyeballs on Wesley Drain, where if he was able to be victorious in that, it kind of puts him back in the conversation once again. So that's where I would go.
Yeah, I don't know if Wesley Drain would take kindly to Stunt Marshall. Like I think he might. I think Wesley might say some shit that might piss Stunt off. I think those guys might actually have some issues, like if they were to get messed up. To be honest with you, because Wesley's a very outspoken person.
Be so good, man.
And as Stunt has alluded to, man, a lot of people when they first see him, their response to him is pretty alarming, right? Because his mustache is like he's got the hair with the part, and then more hair, as he calls it, the rat tail. So I mean, he definitely dresses the part, and then the stuff that he wears is very colorful, right? Short shorts. He's very, very comfortable in his skin, and you can see that. And some people would just be like, "Yeah, bro, you look weird."
I almost got canceled on that whole thing. I almost went down a path that I wouldn't have been able to come back from. So, but luckily we avoided that, and I kept my big mouth shut. So we're good for another week. We're good for another week. Dang. Anything else you want to recap before we head out the door here and finish up Smack Talk for another week?
No, congratulations to Alex on winning that giveaway. It's a big opportunity. Really, we're grateful that, you know, Charlie Peterson, Dark and Dream on Instagram. If you guys go look at the pinned comment under that sweepstakes post, just touch her follow. She was super gracious, gave these tickets away for absolutely nothing, and it was very kind of her. And we're really grateful that she was allowing us on our platform to do it. So congrats to Alex. We'll see you in New Orleans, hopefully, brother. And thank you guys for tuning in always.
Yeah. Next week, let's just kind of set the framework for next week as well. So Wednesday, we are going to have a show for you guys on Wednesday, kind of the preview show on the Thursday. We are going to be in New Orleans. So if you're in New Orleans, come on out to Dave and Buster's from 6 until 8 as part of the tailgate party. And, you know, not to be underdone, but we will be bringing you on these platforms, both Facebook as well as on YouTube. We will be streaming and we'll be commentating along with you as well for the weigh-ins and the face-offs taking place bright and early in the morning, especially if you are on the West Coast. So we bring you that. And then, of course, all of our coverage around Fight Night itself will get you there and in the front row, and some exclusive content from the fights itself. Ton of interviews. So we appreciate everybody as always. Much love, much respect. Next week, Fight Week. Take care and stay safe if you're traveling in. We'll see you all in New Orleans.